Hey up, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to On the Sofa with myself, Black Sofa, and my co-host slash co-presenter, Signese.
You could just call me your cohort, but that just sounds a little nefarious.
Yeah, it does a bit, yeah.
Granted, I'm a bit nefarious.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I
I
can
can't
be.
imagine. I can't imagine you having. I can't imagine you having a villainous side. I can't.
So,
Oh, anyway, bye guys. Bye, Mike.
oh, bye.
Josh, get out of here. Go somewhere with yourself.
I'll come over later on tonight, okay, Mike?
Josh, I'm gonna smack you. Yeah, he's going to his friend's house, and hopefully he remains there because I don't have the energy to deal with him without resorting to murder. But do I ever? No, I don't. So, so what do we have? Because we missed this week, so we've got some catch up to play. Perhaps with some mustard, but I'll pass on the mustard. On some real shit, though, I hate mustard. Speaking of condiments, my kid tried her first hamburger yesterday, and she loved it.
Yeah, cool. It's all about corruption.
Well, yeah, that's everywhere.
But let's specifically.
How was your trip? You want to tell me about it next fall? Dumbass. Finally, some peace.
What should we start with?
Well, we've got some Tory twats. We've got some labor woes.
Yeah.
I think I threw in a few ridiculous Republicans, so we've got quite the cream of the crop of stupid here.
Okay.
As much as that sounded like an oxymoron coming out of my mouth, which now has a bad taste in it.
Let's start with this one. Yeah. Party funding linked to Russia. How much of the Tories benefited? This is from The Guardian.
Didn't we go over this one? Did we not go over this one a couple weeks ago?
I think
that did. Terrible wig looks familiar.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
a bit.
We did. Yeah. We did. The Tories have been benefiting quite a bit from Russia, so they're hypocrites talking any shit, just like Mitch McConnell is. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of that bitch.
Yeah. I thought it was worth just touching on it slightly again.
Yeah, I might as well refresh everybody's memory. The Tories, much like the Republican Party, are actually in Russia's pocket.
Yeah, pretty much. So, if you're wondering why it's taking so long to impose sanctions on these, Russian oligarchs, it is because they're funding the Tory party, basically.
I believe the U.S. has implemented some sanctions. Our gas prices are now nearly $5 a gallon, which fuck me in my wallet for that. And yeah, we're boycotting Russian oil, but we don't have as many politicians in Russia's pocket. That was really only the small faction of Trump and his loyal devotees.
So basically, it's estimated that the Tory party have taken about 2 million pounds from from Russia. So
And the question is, will they continue to do so?
yeah, they probably will.
Wouldn't shock me.
So
Hypocritistic conservative as ineffective as the Labor Party.
yeah, but so that's a bit of a catch up with that one. So yeah, Putin's plot against Great Britain and how he got away with it. This is from the Byline Times. There's Putin there shaking hands with one of our former prime ministers, David Cameron.
And his forehead. Am I wrong? No. By the way, in case anybody's wondering where Artie is, I'm going to put him on blast. He bailed on us to go get laid, and good on him. I hope it's worth it.
Yeah.
I do hope he didn't get catfished.
Yeah, same here. And the article says this: the outline of Vladimir Putin's long war against the West has been brought into stark, almost apocalyptic relief by his brutal invasion of Ukraine and his mass bombardment of Ukrainian civilians. The Kremlin's plan to recreate a new Russian empire has been noted for years in various think tanks and publications though very few believed it.
Well, I do remember a few years ago, they were looking to access the Crimea, which is part of Ukraine. And I mean, I knew a few people that were kind of like I mean, Russia is known to be one of our adversaries, even if Donald Trump was bought and paid for by them. But I actually knew a few people who were like, well, the Crimea is where Russian royals, when there was still a royal family in Russia, would vacation. But it's like, okay, so what? Russia can't. The memes I've seen bullying Putin over this invasion of Ukraine, it kind of reminds me of when the whole playground stands up against the bully.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, fuck you, Putin. There are a few things that can be seen from space. Yeah, there's the pyramids, of course. There's, of course, you can see that the Earth is not flat, and then you can see the balls of Vladimir Zelensky.
Yes. So basically, he's trying to rebuild the Soviet Union.
And then some, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if this goes to the atomic boom booms, I live right in an impact range.
Oh dear.
So I'm going to be one of the first to go. It's been real.
Yeah. But the article goes on. Thanks to Observer journalist Carol Cadwallader, I think I've pronounced that right, we know this is partly due to a great information war using the fifth battle space of propaganda and non-linear lies to deceive and distract. But after FBI investigations, congressional intelligence reports, and dozens of journalistic investigations, we have confirmation from the US Army itself that Brexit was the first step in Putin's information blitzkrieg.
Oh, Putin had something to do with Brexit. This is the first time hearing of this.
Yeah.
But I'm not shocked.
No, well, I think we all kind of knew that already. That Russia influenced influenced the way the vote went, and here in the UK. But it's been confirmed now. He definitely had a hand in it, and it's all it's all part
That
of.
doesn't surprise me. Nothing does. It takes a lot to shock me, but this in particular, like, oh, it's news to me, but it doesn't come as some big, slap in the face.
It's,
I mean, he was pulling similar shit here. Look how we ended up with Trump for 4 years. Because the fucking Russians.
Exactly. It's all. I'm sure it's all part of his plan to try to weaken the West as much as possible, and undermine our leaders.
It just reminds me of like I mean, this is just comical to me. And by comical, I don't necessarily mean funny. It's like I'm reading a really bad comic, and Putin is this supervillain, or at least trying to be.
Oh yeah, he's trying.
I have walnuts. I'm happy. We all get to live today.
But why has it taken so long to realize we were under attack? Why was there so little preparation for the biggest war in Europe in 77 years? And why did Britain do so little to counter it?
Well, the first answer to that is because people are fucking stupid. But now we also have the fact that the Conservative Party, which unfortunately holds this majority in Parliament, they're in Russia's pocket.
Yeah.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Just follow the money. At the end of the day, just follow the money.
Yeah, exactly. I think you've got a point there.
Oh, when don't I? Even when I'm roasting people, I have a point.
To answer that, we have to go back to 2017 and the revelations of Special Counsel Robert Mueller, who was tasked to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 US presidential election.
Yes. That was a fun time.
Yeah. So, the plot to derail Britain. I'm not going to go into all of this, but you can read. People can read this article for themselves.
Perhaps we should drop a link to this in the description.
It makes for very interesting reading.
Absolutely, I'm intending on taking a look at it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I read some of the articles in what free time I have that isn't dominated by sleeping before work, but that one I hadn't had a chance to really look over. I mean, this is some interesting but frightening shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like how frightening it is that these walnuts are so tasty. Oh my god. Walnuts are almost better than sex. Especially with blackberries. The combination of blackberry and walnut is delicious. Everyone should try it. Unless, of course, you have an allergy.
Of course.
So what else have we got here? I mean, we revisited the fact that, Tory twats and their connection to Putin. So we're going to have to come up with a new stupid punny name for this because Putin's Parliament Pact? I'm not wrong.
No.
All right, everybody do a shot. Boris Johnson. Everybody do a shot.
This is from the Times.
Up, motherfuckers.
This is from the Times. Most of this is behind a paywall, but there's enough here to for us to talk about, I think. This is okay. The headline reads: Boris Johnson's Russian crony, Evgeny Lebedev. I probably massacred that pronunciation, but
Probably along the lines of Evgeny Lebedev. I don't know. I think it's just in the stressing of the syllables there.
probably. But he got a peerage after spies dropped warning. And there's the two of them together. The security services review an assessment that granting a peerage to a Russian businessman posed a national security risk after Boris Johnson intervened. So in other words, the security services they were going to they were going to say that this this
Basically, they were going to speak up. They were going to blow the whistle, but Johnson took it away from them and broke it.
Sorry, my words are not my friends tonight, as it seems. I can't get them out of my mouth quick enough. But anyway, yeah, you're right.
That's what she said.
Yeah. The Prime Minister pushed ahead with the nomination of his friend Evgeny Lebedev, the Moscow-born son of an ex-KGB agent and media mogul, even after intelligence officials raised concerns. So they told him,
it's awful Trumpy up in here.
Yeah, basically they told him, if you make this guy Lord, that's a huge security risk, and he was like, nah, fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Security risk? What that?
Yeah. Johnson is said to have responded to advice to drop it by claiming this is anti-Russianism. Whatever the fuck that means.
Anti-Russianism appropriate right now?
Yes, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But he's given him a lifetime seat in the House of Lords.
Well, y'all are even more fucked than I thought.
And guess what?
And I had no hope for your country anyway, with the path it's going down. I didn't have a shred of hope.
And guess what? This Russian businessman, Lebedev, he owns the Evening Standard and the Independent newspapers.
Well, I guess we're not using them anymore.
So, he controls a lot of what he controls a big chunk of what we read in the news, in the newspapers, basically.
We're gonna have to do some research and perhaps take an anti-Russia stand of our own and try to make sure to use sources that are not bought and paid for by Russia in some capacity.
But can you imagine? In the years leading up to the Second World War, Winston Churchill was to make one of Adolf Hitler's friends a lord, and MI5 tried to tell him, I'm sorry, if you make Herr Goering a lord, that's the security risk. And can you imagine Winston Churchill saying, no, fuck off. I'm not making him a lord. No, he's given me lots of money, so no, I don't give a fuck.
I owe him. Like, really?
Yeah.
No, this would have been unheard of.
Yeah.
Now, granted, in World War II, we were a little more civil with Russia.
Yeah.
Russia was part of the Allied forces. Where the breakdown started was probably around the Cold War.
Yeah.
But, now Russia is a pretty well-defined adversary of quite a few NATO countries. And like I said, this whole situation is reminding me of a playground rising up against the known bully at this point.
Yeah. But it gets worse.
Of course it gets worse. Why am I not surprised? I'm just gonna damn walnut.
Hang on. Oh.
Oh. So that's how much worse it gets.
Yeah.
Get the gun. Stop the planet. I want off.
The government didn't record minutes of meeting between Lebedev and Johnson.
Lovely.
So they had a secret meeting, basically.
Oh my God.
And now, infamous meeting between the Prime Minister and his Russian ally was not recorded by officials. Sam Bright reports. This is from the Byline Times again. Another, these good, but the Byline Times are great. They're really good at exposing this, this stuff. You don't get to learn about these things from the mainstream newspapers.
Well, no, because now it turns out Russia fucking owns them.
Well, yeah, exactly. Russia and Rupert Murdoch, basically. Anyway, the article says this: the government took no minutes of the now infamous meeting held between Prime Minister Boris Johnson and London-based Russian media mogul Evgeny Lebedev in March 2020, Byline Times can reveal. Following on from John Sweeney's reporting for Byline Times in August 2020, the Sunday Times yesterday reported that Johnson personally lobbied the security services to change their advice, which was blocking Lebedev from receiving a lifetime seat in the House of Lords. That's what we've just been talking about.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I'm not even shocked. I'm pissed. I'm like, there goes more of my faith in humanity that didn't even exist down the toilet.
Yes. I'm going to skip a bit because it's going over ground that we've already gone over. However, the details of the discussion between Johnson and Lebedev were never recorded, according to a Freedom of Information request submitted by Joseph Lloyd. The meeting was listed in the Prime Minister's list of official engagements, suggesting that it was undertaken in a government capacity. However, no notes were seemingly made.
Great.
So we would never have found out about this meeting if it wasn't, if
Thank God for journalism.
Yeah, if they hadn't done a Freedom of Information request.
They have that in the UK? Because I know we have Freedom of Information requests here too, and it's actually called the Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah, it's very similar to what we have here. You have to, if information has to be disclosed if it's requested for. But
I guess that bill is Boris Johnson's personal toilet paper. Well, the Constitution here became Trump's TP. It's we can never get those orange stains out of it.
But the article goes on. But a long friendship. Boris Johnson has a long-standing personal relationship with Evgeny Lebedev, who brought the Evening Standard newspaper in 2009 alongside his father Alexander when Johnson was mayor of London, followed by his procurement of the Independent in 2010. So
Well, this is a long time coming then, basically. This has been brewing and brewing for a while now. We're
Yeah.
only just starting to see the bubbles in the cauldron.
yeah, exactly. I'll put a link to this article as well because
Yeah, a lot of these are, these are
it boggles the
too
mind.
juicy not to share.
Yeah. Oh, and we've got some. Hang on, we've got some comments.
Oh, we do.
Hmm.
Let me see in the chat. Oh, Will's painting his hallway?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and of course Greg is here because of course
Of
he is.
course. Yay.
Shut the fuck up, Will. You know I didn't have faith in humanity.
Oh dear.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You knew I had no faith in humanity. How long have you been streaming with me? How long have you known me? How long have any of you known me? And if y'all actually thought I had faith in humanity, I have questions. And I don't know if I want the answers.
Hmm.
The answer's probably no. I almost never want the answers to my questions.
We've actually only got 2 more articles.
Really?
Yeah. And then we'll call it an evening, I think.
Have we, are either of them one of the ones I put in the Google Doc a few days ago with regard to, Biden had his State of the Union address, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and her little friend Lauren Boebert were heckling him the whole time.
No, that's not there anymore. Do you want to briefly talk about that then?
Oh, we might as well. So essentially, every year the president gets a State of the Union address, and Lauren Boebert was screaming things about, oh, you put 13 people in caskets. And then she and Marjorie Taylor Greene were trying to start a build the wall chant when he's talking about border security. And just a general lack of decorum there with the two of them. And it really makes me wonder, first of all, Colorado, I thought had some brain. And yet they've got Boebert in there.
Yeah.
Boebert is the one now, I don't know if you knew this, Mike, but Lauren Boebert was actually the one giving tours of the Capitol building to several of the rioters, I believe about a day or so before the attack on January 6th.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And then we all knew about Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Yeah.
I have plenty to say about her in the time I've been making myself present here.
Were they making animal noises at some stage?
What?
I thought they were making animal noises.
That's the first I've heard of it. I wouldn't be shocked if they were. I mean, every time Marjorie Taylor Greene talks, it sounds like a fucking.
But maybe I'm getting confused with another story. I don't know, but
I
they were
think
definitely.
you have 1,000 nails on a chalkboard every time either of them open their mouths.
But they were definitely heckling him, weren't they?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, we're supposed to be adults here.
Yeah.
Let's act like.
But then you see what happens in the House of Commons. You see how some of the MPs behave there, and you think
there's no civility anymore.
No, it's like a school playground.
And pretty much, it's a jungle. It's insane.
Yeah.
But none of it shocks me because we've just evolved as a society. The breakdown in our systems of government is a symptom of a larger cause. As a species, we are rapidly devolving. We are in the platinum age of stupid.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Anyways, what else have we got here? Oh yes. Moving on from Russian oligarchs to something a bit different, but still Boris Johnson.
All right, another shot, everybody. Bottoms up. Fill your shot glass. Stick the whole thing in your mouth and just tilt your head back. That's where we're at.
Yes. And Downing Street was repeatedly warned over Boris Johnson's misleading jobs claims.
Oh, wow. Boris Johnson was lying. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Cricket. No surprise there.
Government officials were warned repeatedly about making misleading claims about job figures before the official statistics watchdog reprimanded Boris Johnson over the matter.
I have to say, it's a shock that there was a reprimand even issued. We don't have that here. Trump lied with almost no consequence. I mean, media outlets called him out, but there was no real accountability.
I mean, yeah, well, usually it's the same with Boris Johnson, but I think people are getting sick of him lying all the time.
Well, that's more than can be said for here. People still can't get enough of Trump.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad, isn't it?
It's just.
I saw an interview, a short interview on TikTok earlier today.
I keep forgetting you use TikTok. I need to follow you.
Yeah.
My TikToks are stupid though. It's just me annoying Josh and telling bad jokes.
But this guy conducting the interview, who really, he really caught this Trump supporter out, because he said to him, "Do you believe that Donald Trump is still the president?" And he said, "Yes, I do. He is still the president."
Oh my God, the fucking Q-tards.
And so he said, "So, what about Joe Biden? Is he not the president?" Oh no, Joe Biden is not the president. Donald Trump is the president.
Oh my God!
But then the interviewer did something really clever. He said, "So you must be really angry with Donald Trump for the rising gas prices." And he said, "No," but he said, "No, it's not. It's not Donald Trump's fault. But you just said Donald Trump is still the president. So
the president isn't even responsible for gas prices. I hate that stupid misconception."
Yeah, but he said, "But if it's not Donald Trump's fault, whose fault is it?" "Well, it's Joe Biden's fault." But
but Biden's not the president, you dumb dickhead. Is that what you just said? Which is it? You can't have your delusion and fucking neutralize it too.
But then he said, "Well, the dingle hoppers have to wake up. They just have to wake up."
My kid called me a dingle hopper the other day.
Really?
Yeah, my 4-year-old used to call me a dingle hopper. And, "Mommy, you're a dingle hopper." Like, you know what? Shut up, you hoppledinger.
But yeah, you could smell the cognitive dissonance through the screen. It was unbelievable.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
But anyway, that was just an aside. So yeah, Johnson's been caught lying about how many
everything
about jobs, about how many jobs the Tories have created, and he got a slap on the wrist for it.
Of course he did.
Yeah. During more than half a dozen editions of Prime Minister's Questions since November, Johnson has made the misleading claim that more people are in employment in the UK than before the pandemic began. Yet, although the numbers of workers on payrolls has risen, the number of self-employed people has dropped significantly so that the total number of people in work is down by 600,000. So so
It amazes me how easily he'll just say shit that's so easily refuted.
yeah, exactly. But he doesn't give a fuck. No, he's he's just a liar. He's just he just lies and lies. He can't help himself.
I have to wonder if it's like a pathological or compulsive thing at this point.
Yeah, I think it is. I think he's a pathological liar.
Well, there's a lot of those in government, but Jesus fuck.
Yeah. I'm sure he. I mean, you could argue, well, yeah, but all politicians lie, but Johnson lies every time he opens his mouth.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm sure I'm sure he lies at least 10 times more than other politicians do. He lies every time he stands up in Parliament. He lies. He lies every time he's being interviewed on the news. He lies.
He's actually believing his own lies.
Hmm. So yeah, there you go. But I think watchdogs now are beginning to get fed up with all these lies, and they're beginning to fight back. They're beginning to reprimand the bastard.
Well, it's first of all, it took long enough. Second of all, I wish we would have had that kind of sense here. At least the UK has a point where they reach their limit. Here, it's just, oh my god, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like people are under a fucking spell.
But I think better before. I think it's quite convenient for Boris Johnson that before all this Ukraine stuff blew up, we were talking about his days being numbered. But now,
I think that they are, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to get my hopes too far up.
I mean, but it's almost as if Russia invading Ukraine has kind of distracted people from all the shit that Boris Johnson is doing.
Well, careful going into that territory. We certainly don't want to have to take you for a tinfoil hat fitting.
But
if there was any kind of distraction operation, perhaps the distraction was that Russia bought off conservative parties both here and in the UK so that nobody would pay attention to their little plot bunny against Ukraine.
Probably.
It's just an idea I have. Holy shit, this apple's delicious. I love apples.
You're making me hungry.
I miss my iPhone so much, but I'm a fucking peasant. I have to use an Android.
I still use an Android.
Well, they have their benefits. I do like the multi-window mode, which Apple didn't previously have, but they're just not as secure.
Okay.
And I just miss having a fucking iPhone. But fucking Josh had to talk me into buying an Android because they had a promotion going on.
Ah, I see.
But at least I haven't dropped this in the toilet yet. I've got that going for me.
That's something. Anywho,
Anywhore.
This is quite interesting. Ex-Common speaker John Bercow was a serial bully, says report.
Cool, let's bully him back.
Do you remember John Burko?
No, probably not.
He he was not liked at all because especially by
He
the
was
Tory.
like a bully though in that pose. He reminds me of a fucking, just like a Putin, a fucking kindergarten bully. But he's even got the pose, a little crossed arms, that bug's stupid little look on his face.
But where the Tories didn't like him because he would hold them to account.
Really?
Yeah, and
Somebody did.
but the current speaker doesn't do that so much. He's beginning to slightly, but not as effectively as John Burko used to. But anyway, he was accused of being a serial bully in the House, and
Well, if he was the one holding the Tories to account, then I have to wonder how accurate a claim of being a bully might actually be.
But obviously he categorically denies bullying allegations.
Yeah, this could be just conservative crying to cancel any accountability.
The independent expert panel said his behavior fell very far below that which the public has a right to expect from an MP. It also said his evidence showed he had been a serial liar. However, Mr. Burko said the inquiry into the complaints was amateurish and based on tittle-tattle.
Tittle-tattle.
Gossip, in other words.
Yeah. Well, we have tattletales here in the U.S.
Here in the UK as well. A report by the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards, Catherine Stone, found that Mr. Burko had displayed threatening conduct towards staff, including verbal abuse and displays of anger. It said that he had shouted at and mimicked a member of staff and was responsible for intimidating, insulting behavior and involving abuse of power. She also found he had subjected Lord Lisvane, a senior clerk in the House of Commons, to repeated unfounded criticism, often made at length and at volume, and included derogatory inferences about his upbringing and background.
Jesus.
It
really is a fucking lawless wasteland in Parliament.
Yeah. And anyway, it goes on and on anyway. But I don't know. Some of it may be true.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, of course, allegations of bullying need to be taken seriously, and perhaps he was a bully, but at the same time, how much of these allegations is just the Tories being mad that they were being held accountable for their reprehensible conduct, shall we say.
Yeah. But that's it. That's all the news we've got this week.
Yeah, this was an unusually short one, but hopefully, that's kind of refreshing. Hopefully nothing else will pop off over the next week. But like I said in the private group chat between you, myself, and Arnie, if we do go boom over the next week, I won't exactly be averse to it. I think what we could use is a societal collapse at this point. We just all need, civilization needs to just fall apart, and we just need to rebuild from scratch, hopefully having learned something. Not likely that we learned something, but hopefully. I'm choosing to be hopeful because otherwise I will become homicidal.
Yes. And on that literal bombshell, I'll
Boom, bitch.
say good night.
Bye, Felicias and Felipes and fuckers of the non-binary variety.
And we'll see you again next week at the same time.
Sounds good.
Bye for now.
Bye.